So Pulkit has been with us for the last few months. Very active, extremely actively involved in our community as well as in other communities. He's also now collaborating with KubeSphere, I believe. He might be able to talk about that briefly. But Pulkit, as soon as you can, let's get you on as a panelist and get you sharing your screen. And great job, everybody. Keep the comments coming on Slack and also on YouTube chat. Also, like to see all the tweets go in. Make sure to use the hashtag DoK Students Day, DoK Students Day 21. Keep sharing all that stuff, getting the love going. Pulkit, you got some sunglasses on too, brother. How you doing?
Yeah, great going. What about you?
Fantastic. Pulkit, what are we going to learn about today?
Yeah, Stateful said something more than just stateless and stateful applications. So
Let's do it. Share your screen.
yeah,
Let's get to it.
yeah, sure.
Alrighty, getting there.
Yeah, I guess it's visible to you, all right?
Yep, looks really, really good. Nice space theme too, bro. Do it.
Yep. So hey folks, welcome to this session on stateful sets. And I'm glad to be a speaker here. So before getting into the topic, let us have a small intro about me as well, right? So yeah, I'm Pulkit Singh, and a 13-year-old geek, loves to play with Linux stuff, as well as have some interest in DevOps and full stack development. And yeah, I'm from Earth, solar system, Milky Way galaxy, universe. And if there is something more than that, just let me know in the comments, or like maybe you can DM me on my socials, right? So yeah, and yeah, I'm first a human being, then a learner, and hopefully an idea mind as well. Currently working as a community evangelist at QSphere. For more info, just check out that link. And yeah, my social handles have the same username. You can try following me there with my contents that I share, right? So let us get into our topic right now, right? So before, like we will be understanding what are like stateful sets, right? But before getting into it, let us have a quick overview of stateful and stateless applications that we already covered with Kunal, and some part with even Vanshika. But yeah, small overview would help you all a lot to relate with all other concepts right now, right? So basically, like in stateless applications, what happens is, now like while you browse through any of the URL, maybe like the URL I mentioned before, pulkitsinghdev.tech, right? So what happens is, there is basically like when you enter the URL, the request goes to the particular server, and server provides you with their data, and it get fetched to the client, basically your browser, right? So actually the thing is that, what if that server dies, right? So for this use case, we have got stateless applications where we get two, like generally two, but it can be more than that. Generally two servers, right? And what happens is, there would be a load balancer, and that would, just, have 50% traffic to one server and 50% traffic to the another server. And in the same way, if there are more servers, it would just distribute it equally, right? So that even though if the particular server dies, it would just again have all the users to another servers and all, right? So but there is one more problem with it, that is like, what if that there is some login stuffs and all, like you if you try logging in right, and what happens is that, like when you log in, you will like generally provide with username and password, right? But the thing is, what like it would create a session, right? And it would be only on a particular server, not on the other servers as well, right? So what if that particular server dies? So at that moment, you won't, like the user will need to again log in and do stuffs again, right? So for this use case, we have got stateful applications. So before getting into it, let us have a quick,
Pulkit, sorry, really quickly. Can you move your screen a little bit, because I think we got stuck on one of the slides.
just a sec.
That's okay.
I hope it's working fine now.
Let's see. Try to move it. Try to move from one side to the other. If you need to, just close it and reopen it, and then you can start. You can pick up where you left off. No problem. Okay, now it's moved.
Yep.
But you probably need to
So
keep. You probably need. Yeah, you exactly. Keep moving forward. I think it just because maybe
yeah,
some of the animations between one side and the other, it might
yeah,
make it go a
maybe.
little.
Mhm.
Yeah. So just keep going to catch up to where you are.
Yeah, sure. So let us first see like what the definition say. Like it's entirely dependent on the state registered by the server. So
Oh,
this
but yeah,
basically
but
means,
Pulkit, is that the this? I don't know how it looks on your end, but on our end, it's kind of stuck between one slide and the other.
let's do one thing. I will share my screen again and we can get back to the topic again.
No worries, it's all good.
Yep.
This is what happens when you do things live. But doing things live brings a lot of freshness and energy that you don't have if you have pre-recorded talks. That being said, we do have one pre-recorded talk today from Brad McCoy because it's 3:30 a.m. in New Zealand where he's at right now. But we will be checking that out later. So yeah, so Pulkit, now we can see your screen, but I don't know if that's the slide that you want to be on. What is stateful?
Yeah, that's the one. Yep.
Okay, perfect. Cheers. Keep going.
Yep. So let us first see like what that definition says about stateful applications. Like as you can see, entirely dependent on the state registered by the server, right? So here you can just take it as like while you are as I mentioned before, the session won't be created on each and every server. So for that particular time, we get a data store which is like connected with each particular servers, and the sessions are gonna be created on that particular data store which would be like fetched by all the servers. And even if particular server dies, you will have the access on the other servers as well, right? So we have talked a lot about stateful and stateless applications even before and even right now. So let us get into the main topic now, right? So like I guess it mismatched, yeah. So basically, like, what are stateful sets, right? This is a question that this session is gonna solve out, right? So basically, like, let us first see what the definition says again. So stateful set is the workload API object used to manage stateful applications. Yes. So it's basically like it manages the deployment and scaling of a set of pods, and provides guarantees about the ordering and uniqueness of these pods as well, right? So this is the main thing, and like it's just take it as a
Pulkit, sorry,
workload API object.
I think the slide stuck again.
I'm not sure what's happening.
That's okay. That's okay. No big deal.
Maybe just a sec.
That's okay. You'll figure it out. It's moving now to the next slide, but then it gets kind of stuck. That's what happened before. Okay, so now we
Okay.
see what are stateful sets.
Yep. That's the one.
So I guess when when
was
you're
like-
changing slides, just let us know that you're going to change slides, and then we can tell you if it's there or not. No worries, man. It's all good.
Yeah, sure.
It's all good. It's all good. You're doing great.
Yep. Yeah, so it just take it as like the workload API object used to manage various stateful applications, right? Even as the definition says, right? So this is the main thing. And it was generally like as you can see, I have just changed the slide, right? And as you can see here, we are talking about happy birthday to you, sorry, like stateful sets, right? So here the thing means that like the stateful sets were launched when there were problems suffered on like managing various stateful applications at a time, and it was launched around, I guess, maybe 5 to 4 years back, right? So this is the thing. And then it's basically like that we needed to maintain these like stateful applications, right? So let us now talk about again like why do we need it, as I mentioned like before. So more onto that, right? Like why do we need stateful sets here? So basically, like it's like a deployment. A stateful set manages pods that are based on an identical container spec, and even unlike a deployment, a stateful set maintains a sticky identity for each of the pods. And these pods are created from the same spec but are not interchangeable. Each has a persistent identifier that it maintains across any rescheduling, right? And it's basically like stateful sets provide a lot of value if you need a persistent volume or network ID for a pod. And for like persistent volume, as mentioned by Vanshika in the before session, right? So it would probably make you like make sense, right? And it's like the stateful sets are easy to create and update as well, right? So now let us talk about its limitations as well, because it's necessary to understand like the thing we are using, like how much we can use it and how we can use it, right? So for this specific thing we are gonna talk about like why do we need it, right? So let me just switch to another slide. Yeah. So one of the first limitation of it is that the storage of for a given pod must be either be provisioned by a persistent volume provisioner, based on the request change class, right? Requested storage class, right? Or even like if not, it should be pre-provisioned by an admin, maybe this guy, right? So this is one of the first limitation you get when you use stateful sets. Then like deleting or scaling a stateful set down will not delete the volumes associated with the stateful set as well. And this is like done to ensure the data safety, which is generally more valuable than an automatic purge for all related stateful set resources that you may use in future preferences. And so, or maybe you need have a backup of it or so, right? And then we have got another limitation to it as well. That is, stateful sets currently require a headless service to be responsible for the network identity of the pods. And like like you are responsible for creating this service as well. So you may be thinking right now, like, like what are headless services, right? So in simple terms, like just say that you at some cases you won't need load balancing and even single service IP, right? And in that particular case, what we have is like you can just specify that by just having none for the cluster IP, and that's it. So this is what I mean by talking about headless service that stateful sets currently require, right? And then like I guess these much of limitations are more than enough to get more hands-on work on like stateful sets, right? At least like you have a basic understanding of how you are gonna use it, and like what would be the limitations while you would be using it, and like what are the stuffs you are gonna do with it as well, right? So at last we have we have got some resources as well that like you will be getting soon, like you will be getting the whole slides soon, right? And in the resources, one of the first best resources that official docs of Kubernetes. You can just check out that these links as well, right? And it really solves like all of your doubts. It really helped me a lot, and generally these all four resources helped me a lot. And even again official docs of Kates on like basic of stateful sets, right? Yeah, it's the same one, just a basic overview of stateful set and then these stuffs. Then we have got some YouTube videos as well from Tech World with Nana and so these are some of the great resources. You can check that out. And at last, yeah, we have other search engines as well. You can try searching for these stuffs, and it at least in my journey it has helped me a lot in like doing whatever I am right now, right? So at last, have let's have some shout outs for first of all Bart. He's a great man, he just rocks, and like his raps are super cool, and like he has helped me a lot with sharing resources and all as well. Same for Vanshika. And like Kunal and Sayam Pathak both are like my great inspirations for getting into DevOps. Like their contents are super awesome, you can check that out as well. And yeah, of course, whole DoK team, because it wasn't possible because of them, right? And yeah, of course, like you all who are listening to my session right now. So even again it wasn't be possible because of you. So again, thanks to you all. And yeah, that's all for today. Thank you for joining me here, and I hope you all liked my session. And yep.
Perfect. Let's do it. Excellent job, Pulkit. Very, very well done. Very well explained. Not exactly the easiest topic out there in terms of taking it to stateful sets, but very, very well explained, very clear and easy to follow. For reasons of time, we gotta jump right into the next speaker. So thank you very much,
Yeah.
Pulkit. Pulkit is also a very active contributor in our community. Just another example of all the different folks that are getting involved.